From Hopsquad Brewing. We are Moon Tower Soccer. I'm Landon Cottom. This is Jeremiah Bentley. And Austin FC just beat LAFC 4-1. Did you expect that to happen, Jeremiah?
No. I feel like this is usually where I ask you a question, and I was going to be like, in your wildest imagination, what did you – I'll ask you this, like, your best case scenario of this match tonight, what did you think it might be?
I mean, I kind of hoped it would be what it was, but I didn't actually think that was going to happen.
Yeah.
I was almost thinking it was going to be more like the road game in LA, where maybe we get a counterattack goal, and then kind of shut it down a little bit and stop them like that. But I didn't think it was going to be a 4-1 thumping. But as the game went on, like the first 20, 30 minutes, I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to jinx it. But I was like, Austin FC could win this handily. Like they don't look – LAFC looks flat, and Austin FC is aggressive and sharp. And so it seemed like it could happen, and then it did, which is insane. So viewers, need to warn you here. We have some singing in the background. We have mezcal shots being poured over here that we might do on air.
We'll do on air. So
this is the difference in a real journalist and a podcaster.
Right.
Is that podcasters are allowed to drink while they're working.
Do you know that Chris Bills did not have a mezcal shot on the pregame show?
I'm almost positive
Chris
Bills
sure?
did not do a mezcal shot.
Yeah. All right. I want to agree with that. I want to agree with this point you made. Wait, right before we take a shot. The best thing about this was, like, this did not feel like a fluke game, right? Like, Austin felt on the front foot almost from the start and all night long. And, like, that was not surprising that that this is the outcome of that match. And before we get into it, here we go. Salud!
Salud.
Here we go. That's very good. Gracias.
Gracias. Okay, so back to the game.
I forgot
the first
now.
half, Austin comes out aggressive. The press is really effective. Counter pressing, really good, really effective. LAFC, again, like I said, looks flat. I think they were, at times, whenever the buildup would break down a little bit, they'd play long. Austin was always there, always putting pressure on the ball, winning aerial duels, and LAFC just didn't seem to have an answer for it. And so this is one of those games where you see Austin playing that way, and you see that they're capable of it. And it's almost more frustrating because, like, why don't you do this
all
every
the time? Yeah.
Because you see, there's games where Austin FC comes out, they're aggressive, the other team plays through their press a few times, and they get gassed by halftime. And then the intensity falls. They end up dropping too deep, aren't playing the ball sharply. All of that went right tonight. And so this is a game where you had the intensity, you had the other team playing a little bit flat. You also had Austin playing sharply with the ball. And so all of that coming together, it was a fair result. And so, like, 4-1 seemed like the right score here.
Yeah, it did. I mean, and even they dominated, like, in the way that those goals unloaded. You know, they were up 4-0 and then, like, dominated at 4-1. And, like, in what imaginary world do you see Julio Cascante, like, locking down Gareth Bale?
What a game,
I mean,
right?
really honestly, and we talked last week about, like, he was perfect until he wasn't and made that big mistake, like, playing out of the back. And we saw a little bit of a change sort of in the way Austin was playing the ball. But, like, Julio was, I feel like, a real hero of the
Very
game
good.
tonight.
Every time Bale turned around, there was a Costa Rican wall standing there waiting for him. And not even like physical duels. It'd be like 1v1. And Julio did a good job of, like, stepping in and poking the ball away. And so it's just stuff that you would have expected Gareth Bale to come out on top of these duels. And Julio was winning them time after time. Speaking of Gareth Bale, let's talk about him for a second.
Okay. Very handsome. Great, like, his, like, man bun is very strong, even still.
I feel like his man bun is, like, trying a little too hard, but that's neither here nor there.
It's like, it's not like a Maxi level man bun.
Maxi does it right.
Yeah.
But Bale, he looks like a guy who's trying not to get hurt for the World Cup.
That's fair.
And so I think there's several moments you could point to, but one key moment, a ball, I think it's like they try to play a slip pass through. Lima's chasing the ball in, Bale's right behind him. And this is the moment where normally you would see these guys like going in like a shoulder-to-shoulder battle to let the ball run out or to try to take the ball off and get in on goal. Lima was like positioned to do this. Bale's like, no, I'm good. You can just walk it out. Yeah, you can just walk it out. That's fine. I'm not going to fight you for it. And I feel like there's lots of moments where that happened in this game where Gareth Bale was just like, I'm not going to fight tonight.
I mean, do you think this is like? So do you think now he's like the like European star who's like doesn't try very hard and doesn't adjust to the league? Like based upon, is he the next Steven Gerrard? Like based upon a couple games worth of experience, or
based on his performance tonight, I would say yes. I think like in most of his other appearances, and I think when he scored his 2 goals, he's been a sub coming on. And so in those moments, okay, yeah, go push hard for 20 minutes or whatever. That's a different thing than fighting for 70 minutes. And I think he showed tonight that he's not going to fight for 70 minutes, which was what LAFC fans and national pundits were maybe afraid of. Like like your Steven Gerrards, like your Andrea Pirlo's. They're amazing players based on skill alone are way better than almost anybody in this league. But if you're not willing to work, you're not willing to fight. You can't be successful, and that showed. Counterpoint to that, Sebastian Driussi, he was good, like was doing all the right stuff. There's not a lot of moments where you see Driussi do something just like amazing. He did do some really good stuff, but even more often, you see Sebastian Driussi get double teamed. They take the ball off of him. He sprints in like an arc all the way across the field, wins the ball back. Austin FC gets a throw in and is back the other way. That's what you want from your DP. That's what you want from your star. And that's what Austin gets week after week.
And it's not the kind of effort you don't get from Bale. Speaking of guys who like run around, that I was a little bit surprised to like see on the field so long. Like I think Maxi Arruti like turned in a long shift, and at some point I'm like he's good. We've got a game in a few days, and like let him. And we had both Houston and Gite on the bench. Both like were you surprised to see that much action from him? And I was surprised to see he was so good after 5-6 weeks of him being not his best self.
Yeah,
that he was the best player on the field.
Yeah,
today.
again with like the pressing, with the back pressing. Portland just scored, folks. So with Maxi's pressing, his back pressing, which is always a really strong part of his game, you see a few times in the game where Maxi would track back and just stick a leg around and pull a ball off of kicking the table. Would just take a ball off of a guy, and it's those effort moments that won this game tonight. You can point to the goals where some skillful goals for sure, but Maxi's second goal was an effort goal. A good finish, like a good touch and a good finish for sure, but the fact that he was in the right spot and did the right thing to move around the keeper there, like that's an effort goal. The way that he played all night, the way that Driussi played all night, that was where the difference was. It's because guys on LAFC's team, they have guys who fight, but not all 11 players were fighting the way that Austin's players were.
So what do you think? Like we've seen Austin not succeed at home in the way that they have on the road. Like what was the difference tonight? They just like rise to the moment? Like were they just they cared more about this game than LAFC did? Or like,
I feel like one of the things we said is that they've tried too hard to rise to the moment before. Like they get overhyped at the home environment, but maybe it's like people doubting them. Like that's the thing that has clearly driven this team all season is people doubting them, and so they were Vegas odds had LAFC favorites. I think probably most people had LAFC favorites. I didn't really expect us to win this game, and so maybe that's what it is. It's not the home field advantage, the home environment. It's feeling like an underdog, and so I don't know how you replicate that when you're not playing LAFC.
Well, you're not,
but
yeah.
Josh Wolf should try.
Do his best. Yeah, I can't wait to see like the post-game press conference to see what Josh
Yeah.
has to say about this game. So the first goal comes from Diego on the free kick at 32, and that was a beautiful ball.
Really nice free kick.
Like, can you talk about like the setup to that and the kick itself?
Yeah, so it's the foul is dead center, and so the keeper has a choice of where to set up the wall, where to go. All of our most dangerous free kick takers are right-footed, so Crepeau, the keeper, sets his wall up to his left, and then he's going to stand to his right. Diego does a really good job. First of all, Diego sets the ball down and turns around to like take his steps back, and Driussi's standing right there.
I was wondering about that too, right? Like, how was Diego the guy that took that kick?
Well, I mean, Diego's earned it at this point.
I mean, I agree. He's earned it, but I was like, that's the thing where you don't. That's not necessarily always the case.
It almost looked like Driussi was going to say like, no, this is mine. He didn't. He let Diego have it, and Diego did a great job. That's a really tough technique. It was far enough out. If you were any closer, that would have been a really difficult shot to get on frame. Because it was a little deeper, it was a bit easier to get up and over. But it's from that angle and that distance. That's the only way you're going to get it there, is to go up and over the wall and to strike it with enough pace to beat the keeper, but to put the bend on it to beat the wall. It's a hard thing to do, and Diego did it really well.
Yeah, that was such a beautiful score. I was totally surprised by that.
So that was the only goal in the first half. The second one comes.
Wait, before we get to the end of the first half, there's a fight at the
yes,
like around 40. Like what?
So we're sitting not in our normal seats, but over the northwest corner, and it's Murillo, the right center back. Him and Maxi are kind of fighting for a ball on the touchline there. Murillo drops a shoulder into Maxi, and then Maxi kind of gets in his face. Murillo falls trying to fake a foul. Crepeau comes over and gets in Maxi's face, and then the fight is on. But I think this is one of the moments where this ref did not control this game well. If you let a player drop a shoulder into a guy like that and don't call a foul, don't caution anybody, don't give a warning, fights are going to happen, and it did. And I think the ref could have done a better job of calling the game a bit more consistently, and not necessarily against Austin. I think it was both ways.
It's like early, I feel like he was kind of over calling the game in terms of fouls and stuff early on, and then like kind of let it get loose there, and then I feel like it was real. I agree, it was really
there's some really hard, aggressive challenges that he let go, including I didn't get a chance to watch a replay of this, but on LAFC's goal, watching it live, I felt like an Austin FC defender got taken out in the box, like not 50-50, but like plowed in through behind. I'll watch it again and see if that's the case after the fact.
Yeah.
We might have a special guest.
We may have a special guest right here. Okay, let's go. Let's go into the next goal.
Yeah. So the next goal was Maxi again, right?
Yeah.
So this is from a set piece, a corner or a free kick, and it's taken, gets recycled, falls to Nick Lima. Nick Lima does really well to take a touch around his defender, get in behind. He's kind of chipping it towards the penalty spot, just kind of hoping for something good to happen. Maxi does a good job of kind of preempting it, gets a head on it. It's one of those headers that just like glances far post.
And that was like such a well-placed header. That's something that.
Okay, so we have a special guest coming on now.
Yeah, we do. He's got to stop doing his day job right here, but we have the mayor of Austin, Steve Adler, who's going to come on the how's it going, Steve? How you doing?
Maya's good. Oh, we'll share a microphone here.
All right.
Here, we can share one for now.
Yeah.
Until Maya gets you set up. So we are joined by Austin Mayor Steve Adler. Mayor Adler, thanks for joining us.
What a game. What a day.
You want to interview him?
Yeah, I would love to do that. So, now we have 3 microphones. This is the beauty of a live post-game show. So did you expect going into tonight, like anything like this outcome, this is like beyond our wildest dreams. Like we were hoping for a win, like the way they dominated. Like, what did you think about it?
It was amazing to see, but they played such an incredible game. I mean, the defense showed up today in ways that I haven't seen it do all season. You know, everybody positioned really well. They were trapping the ball really well. There were so few passes that didn't hit. I mean, this team was just hitting on all cylinders. It was incredible and a phenomenal thing to see.
So I should just ask you, how do you feel? How are you feeling right now? Are you happy? You get a little bit of joy?
I'm feeling really happy.
Yeah.
You know, to be with a lot of people that I can remember being in city council chambers with at 4 o'clock in the morning when the vote was not assured. I mean, we won by 2 votes. But to be here with that group now, with a team that is established and a stadium that is built and a community that's coming together, doing all the things that we said would happen back when we were lobbying to get this done, it's just a wonderful thing to see.
That's incredible. So you had the chance, like yesterday you did the State of the City, and you like hired Lamurga as the, or I don't know if you hired, but like y'all had Lamurga as the like band to play it, and they like walked into council and played 7-4, and like to come out and see this tonight and see this big win, like that must seem like a very important part of your legacy, like like something that has to bring you joy and pride about what you've accomplished in the city.
You know, I think we've accomplished a lot of really good things. But when I look back on this time, bringing the team, bringing the stadium is going to be one of the highlights. And I talked about it yesterday in the State of the City. And Lamurda was there, and there was just something really wonderful about the cycle being complete and having the band back in that space to do the 7-4 chant in front of some of my colleagues on the council, by the way, that were part of the four.
They were against it. Yeah, we love that.
There. And I, truthfully, I loved it too. I loved it too. It was just great, and what a great game for everybody to celebrate and to celebrate the team being here.
Who is your favorite player?
Well, you know, anybody that scores 2 goals in the game like
so tonight,
this,
Maxi
Ritchie for right up there. But you know, obviously, Dreese over the course of the entire season is just having just a stellar year. Just everybody on the team is doing really well. I was a little bit nervous. Goalie goes down. You know, and he was there for way too long for my comfort. But he's doing great. I don't know. It's just great season.
So can we ask you a very personal question? Because I think we know the answer. The Polio FC sticker of you eating a hot dog in the stadium, like you're aware of it, right?
Oh, I have my pin.
You have a pin?
I do have a pin.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Trevor will be so proud of that.
You go to the soccer game, you're supposed to eat hot dogs, you know?
I know.
You can't be worried about what that
like
looks
a red-blooded American.
You're at a soccer game, you eat a hot dog.
I love it. What an amazing
you're
night.
a good sport about it.
Yeah, I mean, not everybody would be a good sport about this. We appreciate that. I mean, really, because we were both in this from way back.
I remember that.
And like, really appreciated all the things you've done to make this happen. And to have you here in this, whatever it is, if you want a mezcal shot, like they will show up. I don't know if you want to do one with us. We had one on camera a little bit like a minute ago.
We'll bring you a mezcal shot. All right. Mayor Adler, you go get a beer.
Hey, great.
Go get a beer.
Thanks for joining.
Thanks a lot, man.
That's good. Good to see you again. Thanks, Steve.
Take care.
Hand your mic to Maya here. Okay, so I think we should wrap this up probably. So
yeah, I feel like we've reached the logical end of that, unless like somebody else shows up. But yeah.
Okay, so this is now. Do you have a table pulled up here? So I think we're now 6 points back.
6 points back behind. Yes.
So I think the question now is 6 points back. We're on the same number of games, 27 games played. That means we have 7 more games.
Yes.
Each of us have 7 more games. Can we still win the Supporters Shield?
We can. I mean, that was the thing about tonight. Like, we had to win tonight to make that happen.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is very much like a turning point in like this season. Is either if we lost, it was clearly out of reach.
Right.
If we drew, it was basically out of reach. But, you know, if we won now, we're 6 points back. LA obviously has to stumble, but, like, seeing the way we dominated this match and the way we played this game, like, that seems possible. If we won, like, 1-0 on a miracle, you know, like, set piece or whatever, I wouldn't have thought that way. But like seeing the way we played and the way they played tonight, like I feel like it's something that is entirely attainable.
Yeah, if this is a return to form and Austin starts playing like they did in that long road stretch, this team can beat everybody in this league. We just showed that we just thumped LAFC. Not a fluke, well earned win. If they're in form, they can beat anybody in this league. And so it's possible, like you said, LAFC is going to have to do us some favors. More than one, right? More than one.
But I feel like I feel more that may happen more like more going into tonight. I'm like, oh, maybe they drop this one, but it's never going to happen. But like seeing the way LAFC played today, I'm like, maybe they will. Maybe they're going to go in their dip of form, and it's our time to like get some points back.
Yeah. All right. So we are going to go into this game even more in depth on our episode coming out on Tuesdays. If you don't know who we are, we do a podcast called Moon Tower Soccer. We release it every Tuesday. We go super in depth on try to get nerdy with tactical stuff, but keep it to a level that a lot of people can understand. I actually they're showing highlights in the background now, so everybody's cheering. But
everybody's watching the game again right now. MVP.
We have MVP chants going.
MVP.
What was I saying?
We've reached the practical end of the show. Follow us on @MoonTowerSoccer and all of your social media. There'll be a show out on Tuesday morning where we're like more sober and in depth on whatever we do. Thanks for checking it out, and we'll see you.